Trying to position myself so that the light is not beaming off of my face like it is on my chest. Clearly not very good at this whole Instagram malarkey. So, how are you? I am what would commonly be described as a shit show. I'm trying to glorify that in the slightest. I feel like I've only just got my head above water and it's touch and go. And then if anything interjects into that, it's like, oh my God, cannot cope. Normally I can rely on sleep quite well. Like I can normally be so knackered that I sleep really well. But even right now, sleep is a bit touch and go. I attempted last night to fall asleep listening to like spa music. It was sensational, but I can't fall asleep with headphones in right now. So we're teetering above water. Okay, people, we're just here. It's really common practice for kind of people, not burnout, because I'm not burnt out, but for people to like not be kind of keeping their head above water. And I think it's really common for that to be sort of glamorized. Like, you know, it's you're not succeeding unless you're not coping or not sleeping or not eating, or, you know, if you're that stressed, that common practice is that you're not doing those daily fundamental things that we all should be doing. I'd like to squash that idea that you're not succeeding if you're not sleeping. You're not succeeding if you're sleeping. God, I talk some drivel, don't I? But I think it's really, you see it a lot, especially amongst women, but I do see it amongst men too, in the corporate world and more in the fitness world, on Instagram, etc. People say things like, oh, you know, I'm so burnt out, or I'm so this, I'm so that. And they do it looking really put together and really glamorized and all of that. And I hope I haven't contributed to that as I say this. I could show you some thinning hair and grey hair if that helps. Point is, as time is ticking, it's not sexy to be so burnt out that you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you've got a low libido, you know, you can't function, etc. One thing that happens to me is that I get quite bad sort of vertigo when I'm quite stressed, and that's happened the past couple of days, and that's when I'm like, oh, hold on, Laura, and that's not cool. So here is to de-glamourising the idea that we need to be burnt out in order to be successful. We don't. It's not cool to be burnt out. It's not cool to lose your train of thought. It's not cool to not be eating because you're so stressed. I hate when people kind of promote this idea. Oh my God, I didn't eat when I was so stressed. And and I'm like, that is an awful thing. We don't want that. That's a really big red flag. I know people promote the idea of like, oh, well, exercise is a great way to deal with stress. It is one way to deal with stress. But if fitting in that exercise is more stress, cut it out. Don't exercise, go to sleep, have some quiet time, put on that spa music that I was listening to last night. If it adds to the stress, cut it out. There you go. The favourite personal trainer in the world telling you not to exercise.